Florida. Today we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Taken down right around the 27. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
A give running right, Gibson. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice to... Such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. They were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because...
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
And that was a high degree of difficulty on that one, but to me, it goes back to fundamentals and determination. High point the football and declare it yours.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A handoff for Gibson. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the Jags are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So here are the Jaguars now with a long field ahead. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 3rd down, Lawrence sets up the screen to Robinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. But Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And it'll be 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. A first update now from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's letting this one go for Fuller. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. They're going to look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on fourth down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They begin the drive with Robinson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On third down, Robinson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
To throw again on 2nd down, Lawrence. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Lawrence going to give this to Robinson, draw play. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Looking to throw, Lawrence. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. 7 yards, the pickup there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. DK Metcalf. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Blankenship out for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot, and here another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Going up top, and that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. That is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the 2nd half.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And the Jags going to go on offense now late in this 1st half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. On 1st down, Lawrence. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Second and 10. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Now Lawrence on 1st down. In trouble, and he's taken down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Now Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with 25 seconds to go, we'll see how they want to play this. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play there just before halftime. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On second down, it's Robinson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half. You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. And here's a give to Gibson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll drop to throw. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Gibson. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. And that is Allen still down following the play. Appears to be shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this will...
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Cole Kmet, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Now Brian Flores going to leave the offense out there to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver?
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play that time through the air. 39 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenot. 7 yards, the pickup there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. fourth this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Here's Lawrence to throw. They should. Oh, no, he lost the football. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Now Lawrence to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Flushed out right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
It's certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he will have a Jaguars first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. From the shotgun, Lawrence, a quick target here, complete to Metcalf. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. They'll run on first down. It's Robinson. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the gun on third down, Lawrence. That's going to be caught. It's Chabot. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. On first down, Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Lawrence. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So the Dolphins now down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. try and start this drive in the air. Able to find Komet. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Completion good for 14 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And this one is incomplete. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. A contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels, they take the ball away, they change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Jags, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Miami, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.